Oh, welcome. We have a Lima model for today, and this one, from looking at the box, it looks like it's hardly ever even been opened. Obviously you can tell this is a Class 37. I've not actually opened it. I only received this actually today, so I thought I'd just have a quick look at it and just see what Lima models are still like. I haven't bought a Lima model for quite a long time. I actually only own one other one now. I did sell all the other ones. So this one is actually Lima, is it L204737, and this is a Class 37 Tre Pol And Pen in Railfreight Distribution grey, and it says it's DC compatible, but they all are if you want to hardwire them, you know. So it always makes me laugh, that does. But it's actually a tooling that dates back from 1987. So let's have a look and see how it compares to the sort of the more modern look. Because if you're on a budget, this is the sort of one that you really want to start with if you can't afford the top prices. And to be honest, I think these are actually really good value and are really well detailed. You don't get a lot of extras with things, and you can't even get it out of the box. So there's no information, there's no detailing parts. It is just the model, and it actually is a very nice looking model. You know, it actually does come with the snow ploughs on either end fitted. You don't get obviously sprung buffers on this model. You get this rather hideous looking D coupling that Lima seem to be very famous of, you know, putting this huge coupling on the front. It does its job, don't get me wrong, but it just does not look right, and you can't remove it because it's actually part of the moulding to the so if you want to remove it, you'd have to actually cut it off. But that is the actual model itself, and it is a very, very good detailed for its age. Okay, mostly detailing will be moulded, but it's painted really nice actually. So I think we get this on the white background and have a good look at the detailing. And there we can see the detail. Okay, there's a majority of this is going to be moulded detail, but from what it's saying, we get factory fitted separate details or handrails. There are horns, but not on this model. This model doesn't have the horns. The nameplates are plastic. We've got cab glazing, you know, says and with wipers moulded onto the. Now we've got some chassis under frame detail with battery box and fuel tanks and some wheel aesthetics. So let's have a look at all this close up. As you can see, the paint and the printing is actually quite good. You don't get anything like fuel gauges on the fuel tanks, but around the cab it looks quite good with the handrails and the door handles. Let's get a closer look. And so you can see we do have a nice little bit of detail around the doors. Let's just go back down the model. You've got the nameplate there, and the grills are nicely picked out. Same with this grill. and you get to this cab end. We've got a nice running number there. So let's have a look at the opposite end. Opposite side, I mean. So, and again, all nicely decorated. Nice stripe, nice pinstripe down the on the roof there. Some nicely printed details. Have a look at the bogies. So you can see it's all nice, moulded, but moulded well, you know. So and you can see the battery box and the fuel tanks there, and the other bogie. You do have the steps on the bogie for the drivers. Let's see what the ends are like. So as you can see there, this does have the fitted snow ploughs. We don't have any lighting packages on these models, but you can see the glazing. Obviously not true flush glazing or anything like that, but it's actually quite well done. You know, some of the earlier ones, the glazing isn't very good at all, but slightly later models like this, you know, seem to be a lot better. So this was probably the last of their revised tooling. And you can actually see the motor and some wires in the cab there. On this end you just see an empty void. There is no cab detail that sits in these, so but you can add cab detail in. I've added cab detail into the non-motor bogie end in the past, and it's actually worked quite well. So your roof day detail, you do get the moulded fan detail there, and there is some moulded detail on the roof, which does actually look quite good. So on the underneath, obviously we do have traction tyres on this model, which does spoil these models a little bit, but obviously in the day, to get the traction for these earlier models, let's see how this one runs. Not powered it up or anything yet, and it was just straight out of the box earlier. Okay, let's see if we've got any movement. I can hear quite a bit, yeah. A little bit jerky. And you do need quite a bit of power on the controller. Let's have a look through the points. Absolutely no problem through the points. Let's go back the other way. Let's bring this back to the centre. I don't expect we'll do a very good crawl on this model. I was actually struggling a little bit then, so So let's see if this is actually able to do a crawl. I'm not giving it much hope. I'm just turning it up slowly. To be honest, that's not bad. Let's go back the other way. Okay, we do have a cutout there, but we are actually on the points, and these have a very limited amount of pickups. So we're straight. So maybe that was a little bit unfair across the points trying to crawl. It takes a little bit initially to get it going, but then you can slow it down. Okay, there we have cut out slightly. So I think a good clean and a good service, and maybe a proper run-in will actually improve this one quite a bit. But that's how it was straight out the box. Obviously all these are second hand, so they should have all been run-in, but you don't know when they have been last used. Actually has a very good turn of speed as well, so I'll just show you that. So this is coming by at full power. I've only got a short test track here, so you can see that it would actually reach its maximum speed in real life. So I thought I was just interested to see how much it actually weighs. $397.2, nearly 400 grams. It's quite heavy. I thought we'd just have a quick look inside. You don't really need any special tools to get into these. It is just a clip-on body, and there should be just 4 clips that form part of the driver's steps. I think it is. Yeah, that's all we have. And you can usually just use your finger, gently pull the body apart from the chassis. And you can see where the majority of that weight comes from. Is obviously there is quite a large weight inside there. So this one does have pickups on both axles on the non-driven, and I think it just picks up from the driving on one side, because obviously we've got traction tyres on the other. So it's just, so you can see there, got the Lima pancake motor. It's quite a reliable motor. They're a little bit noisy. Like you saw earlier, they're not the best crawlers, and they take quite a lot of current to get them going. Once going, they run okay. You can upgrade these quite easy. One of the buffers has decided to come out there, so I'll just pop that back in. These are just push-in buffers. But these motors are very easy to upgrade if you want to upgrade them to CD motors. They crawl really well then, and they start on a really low current. But if you want to keep it original, obviously just service this motor. There is obviously nothing to see inside the actual body there. there is just the glazing on the inside for the engine room windows, and you've got the glazing for the cab. You can actually fit cab detail on here, and it will actually fit quite nicely, especially when you put it the other side. And I've actually used some Bachmann cab details in the past with a driver, and actually those were from a Class 25, but you don't really notice it or anything like that. It actually sits quite nicely, and you can see the driver sat in there. So you can upgrade these, you know, obviously there are quite a basic model compared to today's standards. So again, it's a bit tricky to clip back on there, and the weights are always loose inside until you clip the body on, and it's actually the body that keeps the weight secure. So just thought we'd give it a run round a loop of track, just to give it a quick run in, and then just see how it runs after that. Just going to run it in at 50. One thing I would say, they are quite loud. We've had a good 10 minutes running in, a few minutes, at least 10 minutes in each direction. Let's see how it runs on the test track. Okay, let's see how well we crawl after that quick run in. I think that's improved it quite a bit. Seems to start a little bit earlier as well. And I'm very happy with this Lima model. Actually looks quite good. It's quite well detailed for just mainly moulded detail. It runs okay. Possibly could do with a motor upgrade to a CD motor to actually get it to run a lot better. And but yeah, I mean, I would recommend these Lima models if you're on a budget, because you can get at least 2 or 3 of these for the same price as a second-hand Bachmann, and you can build a bigger fleet up. The only thing I don't like about the Lima models is traction tyres. And if you don't like traction tyres, then this is not a model that you would ever want to run. The problem with traction tyres is they do crack and go hard over time, so they will then lose traction, and they also make your rails all dirty. So you do have to do a lot more cleaning. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next video. Have a good evening and take care.